This is our facial coloring exercise. This illustration looks familiar simply because it's in my Y2K coloring book. And I'm going to be starting with my base color. This is the color I see everybody stop at. They just color it in, fill it in, and then they feel like they're done. But you're not. So the side of the bridge of the nose, I'm using that same marker to add some values. That's what it's called, values. Told you one marker can give you about 2 to 3 shades. Putting it in the general areas where, let's say you take a picture and it's a flash on your face, and I'm keeping those lighter areas, which are highlights, open. Now I'm going to go with my second color. This second color can correspond with your first color, which you see I'm using warm tones. I'm creating a jaw structure, creating a shadow right under the bottom lip, on the sides, below the nose, over the eyelids, under the eyelids, right where the hairline is, right where the hair is covering, collarbone, all those little areas. Now, you don't have to have a sharp, edgy jaw structure like I usually do. This is my choice. It's up to you what you want to do. And I use the same markers for the lips, if you notice, to keep that natural look. Now I'm going in with my third color. Yes, marker number 3. Marker number 3 is adding some more shadow. And then now we're at marker number 4. 4 markers in, y'all, just going back and forth with those same areas that I shadow. Now, in order to blend them in, I'm going to work backwards. I'm going to start my third marker, work my way in with my second marker, and then blend it out with my first marker. Same thing for the lips. That line in between top and bottom lip needs to be pretty dark because the lip is going in. Eyes. I use 2 gray tones to shadow the eyes. We don't want our eyes poking out, which is why I have semicircles as the pupils. And then I color it in with the irises, whatever color you want. Add a little shadow if the gray wasn't enough with a darker brown or whatever color eyes you're doing. And then I add a little sheen of highlight. I kind of use 3 markers to gradient the eyebrows. Now this one visibly shows you the colors and how many I used. I didn't do a full blend effect. I wanted you to see the values between the markers that I used. Now we're just doing the hair because, we got to finish coloring the illustration. Hair's basically simple. I used about maybe 2-3 markers, work my way from my lightest to darkest, get that sheen, some kind of highlight in the hair that's necessary. And then at the bottom, I'm showing you what colors I used for this particular coloring page. Now we're going to scoot over to the other side, and then we're going to go a little darker. This one's more of a seamless one where you don't actually see the different colors, like usually how vector coloring goes, and that's when you can see the values of each layer. Now I'm going to do something risky for this particular coloring. I'm going to add blush. Now, blush takes practice, and then for today, it wasn't a success for me, but it may be a success for you, so I would still try it. I probably went a little heavy with the color. I really chose the wrong color. I tried a little different shadowing this time. Yes, the jaw structure is still very there, but I didn't do it as edgy as the last one. I'm doing the same thing, but this time I'm making sure the colors are seamless. They blend right in like it's a digital coloring page. But right now she looks like she has a bad tan around the cheeks. So we're gonna have to do this portion again. But notice how the colors kind of blend right into each other. She looks like she's having a bad makeup day. My fault. So one, you can see it's blended in completely. The other, you can visibly see the values. Pay attention, this is part 2 of the skin tone combination set. These are featuring Ohuhu markers. Here's one you can use for lighter skin and albinism. Now I've done albinism with Arrtx and not necessarily Ohuhu, but it's still very possible. Lighter tones are a little more complex, but I'll keep it simple because there's so many things, so many ways you can go about this. And greens, blues, and purples sometimes tend to get involved, but we're going to keep it simple with the skin tones. Being that I did yellow, you can either turn it very olivey as well, very tan as well too. I went over with a warm gray to cool down the yellow. Here's our midtones, you know, my favorite sets I love to do. Midtones are usually my go-to. So if you're a mid-tone girly, the middle section is right here for you. These aren't all the 36 color skin tone markers. I think these are part of the 24 colored Honolulu. But if you have the 320, they should all be available. And here is our dark skin tones. Many find this very difficult because some may not see the range when it comes to darker skin tones, and they don't want theirs coming out too dark or it turns into an empty void, which it shouldn't really happen. And these are all just markers, no color pencils. So color pencils is a choice, it's optional. But if it helps enhance the marker experience, go ahead. The darkest one I'm going to do is 2 shades, and notice how I'm not shadowing with black. But here's our second set of skin tone combinations, and I hope you enjoy these. I hope these help. Save, screenshot, download if you need. They're definitely available. You're very welcome. Pay attention, you may want to save this. This is the first set of my skin tone combinations. I am using Ohuhu's 36 colored skin tone markers. This is really for people who don't know what to do after they lay down their base color. And that's what I'm here to show you. That all these colors I'm putting together, they go together real bad. You can take a screenshot if you need. Now we're transitioning from our light skins to our midtones. Screenshot if you need. These colors are pretty popular. This is usually the colors I usually do the most. And then we have our darker tones. You see a lot of warm colors here and a lot of cool colors there. And this is the range of colors you can do. This is only 9, but I have another set that you guys can take a look at. In the meantime, save this, stay tuned for part 2, and I am sure hoping this helps. These will be available for download. That way you can create your own if you want to. Use mine, and let's start coloring some values this year, please. See you in the next one. This is specifically for me and for you to practice lighting, shading, and the values for it. As you can see, I've positioned my lighting for 5 different, they're all the same heads. This illustration looks familiar because it's from my Stylish Girls coloring book. I just cropped her top and I illustrated where the light source would be coming from. This middle one is very horror movie-ish like. And this is something I don't do almost at all, play with lighting. And I did so in these illustrations, trying to see, how good they could be or how well I can do them. They were definitely out of my comfort zone because I'm so not used to them. And I also went with like the hair color, and I went with like red, orange, yellowish type color. I went with like a redhead, just so you can specifically see the values, because oranges and reds are such great colors to blend together. Don't ask me why that is. And as you can see, the shadows are more prominent in some areas depending on where the lighting is. And this was a hard concept for me to learn back in high school, but I think I get it now. We have Chucky in the middle there, and I definitely need to do these more often.